before she became one of the most followed e-girls on the entire planet with over 2.4 million followers on Instagram, as well as 1.7 million followers on TikTok, and that number's growing fast. Well, Waifu Mia was born in a small town somewhere in the country of Canada. Now, taking into consideration how rapid her rise to fame has been over these past couple of years, well, there are certain details about Mia's past we just don't know about just yet. Like her real name, for instance, that's still a big question mark. And then there's the matter of her actual birthday. Now, ever since 2020, well, Mia has been labeling her TikToks uploaded with the common refrain, "I'm 19." Now that she's been posting that caption for a few years and running, well, it's become somewhat of an inside joke. Now, Mia originally began using that description to throw off TikTok administrators looking to take down her content over safety concerns because she wasn't quite 19 yet. Today, she's probably a little older than that, but as far as she and her fans are concerned, well, she'll forever be eternally 19. Growing up in her small Canadian town, well, Mia was an academically gifted student who also just so happened to be massively into cosplay as a teenager. Now, she claims that she's been into anime for years now, and some of her favorite series, well, they're on the darker side of things with titles like Attack of Titan, Tokyo Ghoul, and Death Note rounding out her all-time greats. Now, she's also been a competitive dancer from the time she was 7 years old. Now, when you take both the dancing and anime into consideration, well, then it kind of makes sense that Mia would combine these two passions into creating content for social media starting around the age of 16, which is also when she came across the one person that really jump-started her journey, Belle Delphine, the internet's most famous e-girl. When asked to reflect on what attracted her to Belle's content, well, Mia, she told Know Your Meme. "I remember watching her and seeing how she did really weird and quirky and funny videos, and it kind of inspired me to start creating content and doing my own twist on things." But before she could accomplish her goals, well, Mia, she would have to overcome a whole bunch of world-class doubters. Waifu Mia's high school experience was far from a pleasant one. Now, according to interviews she's given to media outlets like Maxim, well, she was constantly bullied and picked on by boys and other kids throughout school. Now, after a few years of this relentless behavior, well, Mia actually began to believe that she might not amount to much of anything. Now, during this period of self-doubt, however, well, Mia, she didn't give up on her dreams of becoming a content creator. Instead, she wound up harnessing her own self-belief to prove her haters wrong. In fact, the entire experience, it provided the necessary motivation to keep Mia plugging away at her dreams. Now, within just 6 months of becoming a TikTok star, well, Mia earned herself her first viral moment when she created a dance routine to Tones and I's Dance Monkey, and this quickly surpassed over 100 million views. Now, that video, it appears to have since been scrubbed clean from the internet, but it saw Mia dressed in a skirt along with knee-high socks while celebrating with squid-like pom-poms, and well, it just turned into a massive success. Now, unfortunately, it also became somewhat of a sore spot for Mia's TikTok account. Only a couple days later, her profile was deleted, and then to make things worse, well, she was suspended from high school for, well, filming inappropriate content on school grounds. Now, her classmates and school administrators might not have understood what Mia was trying to accomplish, but thankfully there was someone out there who did. Her childhood idol, Belle Delphine. Now, only a few days after Mia's video had gone viral, well, Belle reached out to the up-and-comer through social media to let Mia know that she adored her content. She told her, "I love your aesthetic, you remind me of me." That one compliment made the ordeals Mia's gone through worth it, so she decided right then and there to keep pursuing this dream no matter what. Now, shortly thereafter, well, Mia received a full dance scholarship to a prestigious Canadian university, where she also studied to become a nurse, a career path that, well, always intrigued her. She explained why to Know Your Meme, that was something I was super passionate about ever since I was little. I was like so keen on becoming a nurse. So yeah, if I wasn't doing social media, I'd probably be working a regular job and helping people. While earning her nursing degree and working something like 40 hours a week at a local McDonald's, well, Mia kept up with her Instagram and her TikTok uploads, which soon enough would all pay off in a very big way. As much as Waifu Mia loves and appreciates Belle Delphine for paving the way for content creators like herself, well, even she has to admit that sometimes it can get a little old when people keep referring to her as nothing more than a Belle Delphine knockoff. Now, she explained the reasoning behind some of these complicated feelings to Know Your Meme, where she stated, "I find it annoying sometimes, like sometimes I just try to be a cosplayer and do my own thing, and then always being compared to her, it's like I never get credit for my own original ideas. But at the end of the day, I find it kind of funny, always being compared to her and being known as like the Ohio Belle Delphine and things like that." Now, once Mia had established herself with some solid grounding on today's biggest platform, platforms like Instagram and TikTok, well, she made the smartest business decision of her life by starting her own channel on the world's most popular subscription-based social media site. During her first month of experimenting with adult-based subscriber content, well, Mia claims to have made as much as $3,000. Now, the experience was such an eye-opener for her that she quit her job at McDonald's and has since been focusing the bulk of her attention on social media ever since. Turns out Mia's family, they found out about her adult profile from another extended family member, and well, it upset them a lot, so much so that Mia, well, she wound up getting kicked out of the house for a while. But eventually, her parents did come around, and well, they've since made up. They've just agreed to more or less never talk about it, what she is that she does. She continued to explain to Know Your Meme, where she stated, they don't fully support it, but they understand how successful it can become. Having now spent the better part of the past couple of years overcoming and removing negativity from her life, well, today Mia is ready to believe in herself like never before while pursuing her true passion. Now, this type of message is one that she hopes her youngest followers, well, they'll pick up on, and that, well, they'll never give up on their dreams, no matter what someone might tell them. At the end of the day, Mia believes destiny is a hidden power that determines what will happen in someone's life. With the right mindset, anyone can take advantage of that fact to accomplish whatever you set your mind to, which is why Waifu Mia isn't limiting her ambitions at all. Not only will she continue to dominate the social media spaces she's already taken over, but she's also set to expand into the world of Twitch while also exploring business opportunities by investing in real estate. What's more, well, because Mia knows this type of career can't possibly last forever, well, once she's made as much bread as she can, well, she'll consider going back to school and finishing that nursing degree. All I can say is that whichever Canadian hospital winds up hiring her, well, it'll probably instantly become one of the most popular hospitals in the entire country. But until the day comes when Waifu Mia is as good at administrating catheters as she is snapping pics for the gram, we'll just have to wait and see, because after all, this has been before they're famous. Thank you so much for tuning into this video, guys. We really appreciate the support. I'm going to ask you a question. I'd love to hear your answers down below. Who is one social media star that has influenced you the most throughout your life? Also, since we did a lot of talking about Belle Delphine, I was going to roll a video of her. Maybe the editors will pick it, but I've done a recent video on Livy Dunn. She's kind of like one of these new girls coming up on social media. So either way, enjoy the other video that we're about to show you. It's a previous upload. So yeah, you know what I'm saying. See you in another video.
Before becoming the most followed collegiate athlete on all of social media, gymnast Livy Dunn was born Olivia Paige Dunn on October 1st, 2002 in Westwood, New Jersey to her parents David and Catherine. While growing up in the nearby city of Promise, Dunn was blessed with athletic prowess as a result of a bunch of good genes. Not only was her mom a former gymnast and cheerleader, but her father once played football at Rutgers. Then there's her older sister Juliana, who has played softball all throughout her high school career. As for Olivia, who everyone calls Livy by the way, well, she got her start at gymnastics when she was just 3 years old. At the time, her cousin Isabella had taken up the sport and was practicing in a pretty pink leotard. Wanting one of those fancy outfits for herself, Livy decided to give the sport a try and started at a gym in Hillsdale before moving on to the Eastern National Academy of Gymnastics when she was 6. That's how old she was when she met her coach Craig Zappa and his wife Jennifer, who have both been guiding her ever since. From the very beginning, these two knew that Livy was special, and Craig described what set her apart from the rest to NorthJersey.com, telling them, she's very strong, but she is very smart about what she does and she learns very fast. Most skills that take a lot of kids a couple of months, sometimes she can just pick it up in 2 days or one practice and just move it through. Under USA Gymnastics guidelines, girls are ranked in levels based upon their overall skills. Roughly, this tends to correspond to their actual age, so in many cases, a talented 8-year-old can be a level 8. When Craig first spotted Dunn, she was 6 years old and participating as a level 4 gymnast. He then immediately started training her with the level 10 girls, most of whom were much older than her. His instincts proved to be correct, and Livy breezed through the intervening levels, becoming a New Jersey state champion in level 4 by scoring records in the bars, beam, floor exercise, and the all-around. She then skipped level 5, won more championships at level 6, skipped level 7, and set a state record with a 9.8 on the bars during level 8. All of that happened in the span of just 1 year. Upon reaching level 10, gymnasts are left with a choice. They can stay at that level and earn themselves college scholarships, or they can reach for the elite level by scoring a 51.5 or better. Pulling off something like that requires a boatload of time and training, but Livy committed to the process and qualified as a junior international elite performer for the first time in 2014 with a 52.75. Soon enough, Livy was regularly training at the Olympic Development Center in Texas. That's when her parents began homeschooling her because the travel was becoming too much when paired with her training as often as 5 hours a day, 6 days a week. Leaving her friends behind wasn't exactly an easy decision for Livy to make, but it's yet another example of what she's had to sacrifice to accomplish her dreams. All that hard work would continue to pay off in 2017 when Livy was selected to represent the United States in Italy at the Jesolo Trophy competition. As a member of the USA national team, Livy and her teammates took home the gold all-around medal. Shortly thereafter, Livy had to decide where she wanted to go to college. For almost as long as she could remember, she had been recruited by LSU, but she didn't know much about the school. All she really understood was that their color was purple, and at her young age, that was something she could get behind. The question was, would it end up being the right fit? In 2017, Livy visited the LSU campus for the first time. That's when she realized that not only did the school have an aesthetic she enjoyed, it also had the best gymnastics facilities and coaching staff in the world. At that point, her decision became a no-brainer, and she accepted a full athletic scholarship for the year 2020. Over the next 3 years, Livy would continue to rack up the accolades. At the US Classic in Chicago in 2017, she took home 3 medals for beam, floor, and 5th place all around. In 2018, she made her senior debut in Jesolo. Then in 2019, she won 1st place in the all-around at the Atlanta Centennial Classic in Georgia, the Classic Rock Invitational in Arizona, and Elevate the Stage in Ohio. When it came time to join LSU as a freshman for the 2020-2021 school year, Livy became an All-American on the uneven bars, made the SEC Academic Honor Roll, and positioned herself as one of the world's most popular social media sensations. Oh right, TikTok. How could I forget? By December of her sophomore year, Livy had become one of social media's highest profile personalities, largely based off the popularity of her TikTok feed, where she currently has more than 7 million followers. Livy got serious about social media right around the time that a whole bunch of us did during the pandemic. While quarantined in Florida back in 2020, Livy started posting some clips of her acrobatic abilities online and tumbled her way onto TikTok fame off the back of her skills and personality. Now, with all the attention her social media profiles generate, it's her gymnastics talent that's sometimes overlooked. Livy discussed this confusing turn of events with 225 Baton Rouge, telling them, "When people start finding out that I was an LSU gymnast, they were amazed and wanted to tune into the meets and stuff. I thought that was really cool to bring attention to gymnastics." A few months earlier, in June of 2021, the NCAA overturned its rules that prohibited college athletes from selling their name, image, and likeness, which meant that athletes could finally profit off their own abilities without having to sacrifice their eligibility. Well, what did that mean for Livy? Simply put, millions of dollars. After signing with the WME Sports Agency in August of 2021, Livy announced that her first brand partnership would be with activewear company Vuori. With fashion always having been such a big passion of Livy's, a clothing line made sense as her first major partnership. Soon enough, more brands would follow, like American Eagle, Plant Fuel, and Forever 21. In order to honor these deals, Livy participates in anything from promotional photo shoots to social media takeovers.
Hi guys, I'm getting ready for a holiday party tonight and I'm wondering which American Eagle outfit you guys like the best.
Thankfully, by this point, she's a professional at both. But just because her life appears perfect on the surface doesn't mean that everything comes easy to Livy Dunn. On her path towards becoming one of social media's highest profile collegiate athletes, Livy has had to deal with a couple of speed bumps over these past few months. In December 2022, she suffered an injury to her foot that has kept her sidelined through most of the past couple months. Then, in January 2023, all hell broke loose, literally, when a gathering of obnoxious and rude teenagers, mostly boys,
Give us Livy! We want her!
showed up at one of her practice meets and mobbed her competition in Utah. The star athlete would later open up on the Today Show about how difficult the darker side of fame could occasionally become. She also revealed during the interview that LSU had given her a new set of rules to operate by to protect everyone's safety, stating, "They gave us some new rules just to keep us safe, not to go into the stands after meets, and we have a new security person that travels with us." Thankfully, after a couple months away due to injury, Livy is finally gearing up for her return to the sport that has turned her into such a star. Will we ever see Livy Dunne take home the gold at the Olympics, or will her social media career end up making her pivot in a different direction entirely? We'll just have to wait and see. After all, this has been before they were famous. Thanks for watching today's episode, and before you head out, consider answering the following question. Who is the one celebrity on the planet that would make you freak out if you ever got the chance to meet them personally? Let me know if you could keep it together a little bit better than that crowd of hormonal boys in the comments down below. Otherwise, like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications to never miss an episode. My name is Kara. If you enjoyed this look into one of TikTok's biggest stars, then why not check out this story about viral TikTok foodie Keith Lee? And I'll see you all in another video. Bye!